Hi, I'm Brad, and I have a leaking problem. So, almost for the past 6 to 8 months, there was a lot of hints and leaks and references to a product that Meta seemed to be working together with the router brand D-Link to release a dongle that people with a PC can easily plug a USB device and set up the Meta or Oculus AirLink, whatever they call it now. So people can play PCVR easier without having a fancy router setup. There was a lot of silence of when this product might actually come out, but more recently I've been talking to a lot of my sources, and I am prepared this pretty much this recap and this final leak that will give you a lot of information on availability, when all these features and products will release, and who it's targeted toward, which is really interesting in some ways. If you enjoy these kind of videos, please go to bradsmells.com/Patreon and you can support me so I don't have to take sponsors and you don't have to watch ads in front of videos. So, what do we know so far? Well, I know that Meta internally calls this project Project RE. It is an accessory, again, that is sold and mass produced by D-Link. The big difference is that it's going to be using custom drivers and software that has been collaborated with and between Meta and D-Link to work best with Oculus Quest 2. Early manuals for the accessory have already been leaked a couple times, but these seems slightly out of date, as these were from February and they still reference oculus.com/setup, which is mostly a dead web page now. But a lot what you see here is probably likely going to be similar in the final product, including the design, which is clearly very similar to their current USB dongle devices. It is a USB device that is focused on using Wi-Fi 6 or the 5 gigahertz connection. And talking with my trusted sources, we got all the information on software launch plans. It is planned to release with a stripped down version of firmware version 44. The interesting thing about this actual software running the VR AirBridge is it's actually sharing code with the work in progress Avalanche or Cloud VR service that Meta is working on internally. I did not get any info on release date or announcement plans for the actual Cloud VR service or when we might be able to get some tests related to that. Again, Cloud VR is just basically if you don't have a PC that's strong enough to run PC VR games, Meta will supply that functionality with some sort of cloud service, probably with a subscription if I had to guess. The stripped down version 44 rolls out on September 19th. This feature was actually supposed to come out earlier, but there were some serious issues that caused a postponement, at least one that I'm aware of. And the feature is locked behind a gatekeeper. It will roll out after the version 44 update is pretty much fully released. That's very standard for a lot of meta software updates, so I don't think any of you are surprised by that. One other thing I want to talk about related to software is it's basically designed to work with Windows 10 and Windows 11 using tapping into the mobile hotspot features that those OSs have built in. We're seeing a lot of stuff, these companies interested in tapping into these hotspot features. Even as you might have seen in my recent video, that Valve is basically gearing up Steam VR to also do very similar things with whatever headsets they want to support for that. There will be a press release coming up pretty soon, and I have a snippet here, or at least an edited snippet. RE, or the D-Link device AirBridge, is a made for Meta accessory in partnership with D-Link that provides AirLink users with suboptimal setups, a plug-and-play solution that enhances their PCVR gameplay experience. So again, this is not really targeting people that have really good router setups or is completely fine with using AirLink. This is mostly for people that just really run into issues daily. Their router setup is suboptimal. Maybe it's across the house from where they usually play VR. Just an easy way to set up AirLink and make the adoption of this feature, for some reason, more adopted. Even though Meta has not really shown any plans that they actually want to do anything with PCVR game releases or software releases as of yet. Now, here's the timeline at the making of this video, but like everything else, timelines can be fluid with these large companies. A big example is Pico was clearly planning to announce everything about their new device yesterday on September 15th. Multiple sources told me that, but they ended up announcing the announcement on the 15th rather than just doing the full launch announcement yesterday. So a lot of things get delayed all the time. But at the time of making this video, multiple sources have told me that this timeline I have set here is correct. So let's go with it. So September 19th, which is next Monday, as this is now Friday, version 44 will start rolling out to public users. On September 20th, you'll start seeing the product show up on multiple web stores, at least maybe not fully public or fully available. On the D-Link web store, you'll see it via the DTC channels, but on the Meta web store, you probably will see it pop up with a notify me option. You will not be able to buy it from the Meta web store until the product volumes at the Meta hardware warehouses are at an optimal level to where they can feel comfortably to release it. But also another factor in this is they want to make sure that the version 44 is 100% released so they can activate that gatekeeper and then sell the product. September 28th, there will be an official Meta blog post formally announcing the AirBridge features and probably the hardware. So almost a whole week before we get the actual announcements, even though we will probably start seeing stuff pop up before then. And I was told that on Meta Connect, which is October 11th, there will be additional announcements, but I was not given details on what this meant. I did ask if it was related to Cloud VR, but again, they did not give me any info on hearing anything about that, at least. Now let's talk about availability and compatibility, which is kind of interesting and disappointing for some people, or maybe expected disappointment for some users. It will only be compatible with Quest 2 as a beta. This is very similar to how the Oculus Link feature first launched. You might remember very similar beta situation, except with this AirBridge product. And due to it being a beta, they're only going to launch it in the US only at first. Around Q4 2022 and Q1 2023, everyone in the US will walk into stores such as Walmart and Best Buy, and you'll see this dongle probably in the actual Meta Quest sections. Again, just a retail brick and mortar launch. And finally, when everything gets worked out and things start looking more stable, in the first half of 2023, we will see a global expansion in a similar way, at least currently planned. Again, these dates might fly. This always happens. A more interesting thing is this is also when they're projected to have Quest Pro compatibility. So it doesn't seem like they are really worrying about Quest Pro users connecting to this dongle. Maybe they expect people buying this high-end device not to be playing too many games because this is a gaming-focused feature. And also people that are buying this device are probably more high-end and have better setups than relying on a little USB dongle to connect to Wi-Fi. Anyway, that's everything I had. I want to give you... Okay, I wrote Meta patrons. Special thanks to my Mega patrons. I'm sorry I said Meta patrons. There's clearly a brain issue going on here. These people give me $25 a month, but I also want a special thanks to all of my patrons that give me money. It allows me to do more of this, and I enjoy doing it, and I don't have to take sponsors or money when I review products because of you. So thank you to all the people that support me. If you like this video, thumbs up. If I learn any more interesting information or leaks related to any other companies, of course, I'll make more videos. But for now, I hope you all have a great weekend, and we will see you very soon next week when a lot of this stuff starts happening, and I should not be seen as crazy this time.